Hi, Ray Hayden here. I'm back here by barn. I'm actually standing in Horsefield, and one of the things I want to talk about is this pole shed. This pole shed is basically something that looks quite a bit like a regular shed, but it's really not. It's just slapped together. It was actually put together pretty well when they originally built this thing. I think it was probably built in the 70s or whatever. It looks like it's doing pretty good, but we have no purpose for it. We have no use for it, and we're going to have it removed. But I want to show you two other sheds we're also having removed, which are more like traditional sheds. Okay, in the background over here on the other side of that fence, that's the pole shed I just showed you. But over here is a more traditional shed. You go buy it at Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever big box store you might have near you. And it's just a regular shed, you know, just regular backyard garden shed kind of thing. Again, we have no use for it. We have no purpose for it. And it's just garbage to us. So we're going to remove it. We got some other stuff here. There's a pump, an old pump that obviously doesn't work anymore. And if we walk through the barn, we'll get to go see the other shed we're going to have removed. So there's 3 sheds and the apartment that are going to be removed. So here's the other shed. It's basically just filled with garbage. But the interesting thing about this shed is that, again, it's filled with garbage. We never intended to use it for anything. It's got termite damage, so you don't want this anyway. But there's actually a toilet, a toilet in here, and a shower that they had built in this thing. I guess for whoever was out here taking care of the horses or whatever, when it was a horse ranch, it would have been a nice thing for them to, have the ability to use a restroom facility and to be able to clean up if they got dirty or whatever. And, that would have been a whole nice big thing for them. So, but now, 20, 30 years later, 40 years later, maybe even 50, it's no good to us. So we're going to have those items removed. And then the big coup de grace. Hang on a second, I'll show you that in a minute. All right, as I cross over from muddy field into apartment field here, that's my neighbor's house back there. That's apartment, but let me turn around here. That's our house. You'll notice there's some trees kind of growing in the area blocking the view of the house. That's one of the things I want to make sure I get rid of. And here's some of the example now. These branches are way too low. The county really tells us to get the things up 8 feet off the ground. The reason they tell us that is because dead branches, dead debris, things touching the ground and stuff like that are a potential fire hazard in fire season. This here was touching the ground. That's why that grass is dead down there. Basically I trimmed some of that up so it's off the ground. And back here as well, you'll see a big dirt patch back here. A big tree limb was sitting down on top of that, and yesterday I removed that. But this video is really about apartment and its imminent demise. Tomorrow is going to be the deconstruction work to get rid of apartment and these other 3 sheds. There is 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, a full kitchen, and a living area in this building, but way back in the day, it was probably fine and dandy. It's we never saw a permit pulled for this thing on the records for the property, so it's got to go. And also behind it is the road. That's the dirt road behind there, stretching off in that direction. So let's go take a look at this thing from the outside of the property. Hey, by the way, this is the gate to what I call apartment field, and apartment's right over there behind the trees. And yesterday I took this down to 1.5 inches. So when the crews come in to start removing this thing tomorrow, they can get in here without any fuss or muss or anything like that. But this up here, all of this area was overgrown badly. But I took my bush hog thing, the little walk behind bush hog. I came in here and chewed all this stuff up. Now the one thing I want you to notice is there's no fence behind the apartment. The apartment comes out here, and here it is. And it's right here. It might make a 25-foot setback from the property line. There is a pole right here. This might be a property line pole. I am not sure. According to the charts and the map, if I zoom in real close and everything, that might actually meet the setback for the apartment. And now that I'm looking at this thing, I never really noticed it before, but there is indeed there's 1 strand of barbed wire going across here, but that is not going to make a fence. So that's got to go too. So anyways, I want to clean up all of this brush right here and it's going to be one big open spot, but I will have to string up some kind of a fencing, barbed wire or something. I will string that up because that's the outside of the property line. But this is the back side of apartment, and I really don't want our neighbors looking at this stuff any longer. I think they've done their time having a look at this thing. The brush kind of covered it up pretty well. But if you look at that tree back here, the tree is actually, I think that whoever was here bent the roof down, cut the roof and bent the roof down. You know, the real thing to do would be cut that tree down. And then the other problem is the oak trees will shed branches. Let me show you that in a minute, okay? Let's take a look at a branch that was shed by a tree. All right, so that's apartment back there again. This is that apartment field entrance where I cut the grass real low for our crews to come in. And this is part of the problem here. Now, this is a dirt road. Let me turn around here again. Dirt road going this way. This is actually the road we live on. And then we got one, two. Well, we got two entrances to the property right here on this dirt road. Pardon me, the main entrance to the house, address-wise, would be the next entrance down. And then this entrance here is just for the horse field, the apartment field, muddy field, and stuff like that. And then these trees, this tree over here in the corner, has this branch growing over outside of the property. Now, this is a dirt road. If this thing here is flooded at all, puddles and things like that, the people that live down this road don't necessarily want to drive through that. Certainly nobody wants to get stuck in it. And I would like to have this available for them to be able to drive up on this higher part of the roadway or the property here, even though that's probably part of our property. I would like them to be able to have the ability to drive up here and not maybe get stuck in the mud or something like that. So I will be trimming this branch down to where it's at least 8 feet up off the ground, so you know, pickup trucks and SUVs and stuff like that can get through. Work trucks, tall work trucks might smack a branch or something like that, but you know, but I want it to be nice and clear, like further on down the road here. Now this branch over here was shed from a tree. It just broke off and landed. So things like that I got to clean up, and I'll make sure that these things are cleaned up over time. It's part of the daily continued maintenance of the property. Here's another branch over here hanging down into Shady Field. This branch will have to go, and things like that. So that'll be the next phase of the things that I'm working on around here to make sure the property's cleaned up, cleared up, and basically a view. Because if you look back over here in the distance, back there is our house, but you can't see it so much. And the reason for that is, again, all these branches hanging down too low. The county kind of says, again, we want things up 8 feet off the ground, and there's a plethora of reasons for that. But one of the things is also we can see through the property. As I've been clearing out things on the other side of the property, there's like 13 acres that way and another 7 acres over here. And as I'm cleaning things up, you can see back into it. If you look along the barn there, you might be able to see it on a bigger screen or something, but you can see back into overgrown field a bit. And that's the kind of thing I like. I like being able to see pretty much all the way through the property the best I can to have a visualization of what's going on. So anyway, so I'll wrap it up for this video, and I will make a couple of updates as I can about the demolition and removal of apartment. All right? So with that, until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.